As the year comes swiftly to an end, I can't help but reflect on all that the Lord has done this year in my life. We welcomed our sweet daughter Haven early this year and spent many months preparing for our move here, and there were quite a few snags along the way. But despite all the challenges of moving across the world with a family and just the adjustment of all the cross-cultural challenges, I can honestly say that this has been my favorite year yet. The Lord has been so near. A few years ago, I started taking some time before the end of the year to read over all my journal entries from that year. Now, if you're the kind of person who thinks, let's leave the past in the past and just move forward, I'd highly suggest giving this a try. We can easily go about our life never really taking the time to process, and we can often miss out on lessons that the Lord wants us to learn. So I have a really simple practice that I do with my journals that I started a few years ago. So what I'll do is go back through the previous year of my journal entries. Generally, I use about one journal a year, and I'll just start from the beginning of the year and go through each day that I've written about. And as I go, I keep 3 P's in mind, and I think this just really helps to simplify things, but also to give you some clarity on the previous year. So as I'm reading, I'm going to be writing down either one of these 3 P's. The first P is praise. So where have you seen the Lord answer prayer and work in your life? This is an opportunity that I take to offer him praise for those things. So for an example, I just have a spot where I'm praising the Lord for my labor and delivery with Haven, which was such an awesome experience, and just reflecting on that and seeing where he really answered prayer. Number 2 is perspective. In what ways has the Lord given you clarity or taught you something? Maybe this is about yourself, maybe it's about your spouse, your kids, or maybe it's just things that you want to work on in the future. So for example, I just felt like I really gained clarity on learning to accept certain seasons of challenge and looking at those seasons as opportunities for growth rather than just a burden on my life. And then the third P is pray. What specifically, as you look back over the past year, are you still asking the Lord for? What would you like to see him do in your life? He wants to hear from you. I think sometimes we feel like our desires are so small or that he doesn't care enough about them, but the Lord wants to hear from us. So these are just 3 simple tools that I use as I'm reading over my previous journals. And this serves as a really good catalyst then for planning and making goals for the new year. Being able to identify areas that I still want to work on or identify my big prayers for the new year. So anyway, if you try this year, let me know. Leave me a comment below. Let me know something that maybe you've gained perspective on this year or a prayer request that you have for the new year. I'd really love to hear from you. Are you ready for an adventure? Yeah.
Off to the ski base.
Staying at this little dorm right here, right next to the slopes. You can't really see the lift, but you basically walk outside and you can get on your skis or snowboard. I think it's safe to say that we are enjoying our first winter here in Bishkek.
What is this stuff?
It was my first white Christmas in more than 10 years. Is it just me, or do the years seem to fly by the older you get? The Lord has already blessed us with some amazing community here. And I'm just struck at how God has ordained each of us to be in this place at the same time.
Go and see for yourselves. You will find him wrapped in
I read something recently that said Christmas as a kid is great, but Christmas with kids is even better. And I can definitely attest that that is true. I know the holidays can be a difficult time for a lot of people. We can get to the end of the year with a lot of unmet expectations or desires and feel like maybe God doesn't really see us at all. But I read something recently that I'll leave you with that really puts my own desires and expectations into perspective.